family committed a deed so heinous that it cursed him for life. Despite the curse though, it worked, and Lothric was capable of relinking the flame. But his frail body combined with his poor health left him bedridden and resentful. Being the helpful brother that he was, Lorien wanted to combine his soul with Lothric's, but because of Lothric's curse, it consumed Lorien as well, which left him mute and a cripple. Due to this, the current state of the world, and the fact that even his teacher was having doubts about relinking the flame, it ultimately caused Lothric to refuse, and honestly, it's hard to blame him. Being created for the sake of power and not knowing what your sacrifice will truly do is a hard burden to put on a child, especially when you consider how much grooming was presumably done to get Lothric ready to link the flame. Had he been brought up in a different light, this story could have been changed, but due to the greed of the king, it ultimately started a chain of events that would bring about the end of the world. At the very least though, the twin princes weren't the only ones that suffered. Osiris is more dragon than human now and has gone insane because of it. Similar to how Big Hat Logan became deranged from the knowledge he read on Seath, so too did Osiris, and depending on what you believe, he may also be hallucinating. During the fight, he talks about his son Ocelot, and we can infer that he's carrying him in his hand, but nothing is there. This, however, may not be as obvious as it seems. There's currently two theories I believe in that argue for and against Ocelot's existence. On one hand, Ocelot may be a hallucination from the king, either because Ocelot died and he can't accept the loss, or that he had been hallucinating the mere idea that he had a child in the first place. However, on the other hand, Ocelot may actually exist but was removed due to some real-world complications. During the second phase of the boss fight, Osiris will scream Ocelot's name, then slam the hand that carries him into the ground, presumably killing him. We can hear a baby crying in the background during the fight, implying that he lived, but I think this was a loophole by From Software to get rid of complaints. Killing kids in games, if I'm not mistaken, will get a game banned just about everywhere, and From Software has honored this rule and rarely ever adds kids to their games to begin with. The only ones that come to mind are Kuro in Sekiro and Father Gascoigne's daughter in Bloodborne. But his daughter is never seen as we're forced to talk to her through a wall, and while Kuro does make an appearance numerous times, he is never shown to be harmed. There are 3 parts in the game that Kuro is actually cut with something, and each time it happens, we never actually see the real act. It is of course implied that he has suffered a wound, but it's never actually shown. From Software most likely wanted to add Ocelot and his death to the game, but couldn't due to the possibility of the game being banned. Personally, I've always been a fan of the 4-party and do believe that the king is not hallucinating and Ocelot was meant to be in the game, because this also connects to the king's current mindset, as he is going so insane that he doesn't even realize the harm he's putting his child in. But to make matters worse, while the king was consumed by Seath's writings on immortality, and the twins were currently suffering through no fault of their own, the queen had just decided to leave. She disappeared quietly into the night from the kingdom and was never seen again. The queen's identity though is unknown, but it is heavily theorized to be Guinevere. From Dark Souls 1, we know that Guinevere bestowed divine blessings to her people and was seen as a symbol of bounty and fertility because of it. And the divine blessing of Dark Souls 3 says that the Queen of Lothric was initially revered as a goddess of fertility and bounty. But the issue is that we know that she left Anor Londo and became the wife of a flame god Flann. So how did she go from him to Osiris, and why did she leave him and come back here? Furthermore, if Gwendolyn was actually trying to get the gods back in Anor Londo, how did the two never find one another, and why didn't Guinevere come back? This could have been due to the presence of Aldrich and the Pontiff within the cathedral, but this also calls into question Rosaria, as her soul can create the bountiful sunlight miracle, which is one of the miracles of Guinevere, and given the presentation of both characters from the room's layout to their positions on the bed, it's clear that there is a connection between the two. Whether Rosaria is actually Guinevere or simply someone Guinevere knew is never explicitly told to us, and really in the grand scheme of things it doesn't really matter, but it is a very interesting theory nonetheless. It's clear though, to no one's surprise, that the royal family is in disarray and is currently suffering just like the kingdom is. Despite this though, the Knights of the Kingdom still stay strong and continue to defend the castle against the corruption that is the Pus of Man, but it's starting to fight back, as the Pus of Man is embedded within these twin wyverns and many of the castle's soldiers, and it seems like the Pilgrims of Londor have also started advancing on the castle, as they've managed to control the armor of the Dragon Slayer and use it as a tool of their destruction. After battling through all of this chaos though, we can finally meet the prince himself. The twin princes actually go against the status quo of the game, not just in their decision to refuse the throne, but also in how they're presented to the player. Lothric in a way is this game's Gwyn or Vendrick. He's clearly not on the same level as the other two, but it was Lothric's choices that set the game's plot into motion, just like how Gwyn and Vendrick's choices set their game's plots into motion. But instead of being presented as a shambling corpse, Lothric is the opposite. Even if he's just some bedridden child that's cursed with a lifelong illness. The boss fight isn't this sad encounter that makes you feel like you're doing them a service by putting them out of their misery. You're fighting a being who is extremely powerful and is fully conscious of their actions, as opposed to the hollow versions of the other two. It was a wonderful twist, as I expected to be greeted by a somber tune, all while seeing the death and decay that has continued to spread throughout the kingdom reach the prince's chambers, but I didn't, and that surprised me. And now is probably a good time to correct a previous statement of mine. A couple months ago, I made a review on Dark Souls 3. It was a bit more gameplay-centric than this video is, but in that video I said despite loving the Twin Princes, Lorien had always pissed me off due to his awful teleportation ability. And I want to rectify that statement, as I never felt these feelings this time around. In the previous video on Dark Souls 2, I talked about how the quality of these bosses will always be a subjective opinion, as the boss's enjoyment largely depends on the build and the skill of the player. I naively at the time did not take this into consideration, and never considered that I was the problem. Looking at the gameplay now is downright embarrassing, and I realized that Lorien was never the issue, it was me. Yes, his teleport move does occasionally break line of sight, which is still annoying, but everything was not as bad as I had made it out to be. I always liked the Twin Princes as a boss fight, that opinion has never changed, but I think I can now officially say that it's not only the best Lord of Cinder fight in the game, but it's easily one of the few fights in Dark Souls 3 that I consider completely perfect. The sheer presence of these two is amazing. The fight is pretty much Lorien versus the player. Lothric is able to protect Lorien with magic and heal him once he dies, the same way the player can heal with Estus and use their equipment to aid them. Lothric is like the support role in this duo, but he's also the main character that needs to be defeated, as he can obviously revive Lorien, but his magic forces the player to not engage them, prolonging the fight even longer than it already is, giving Lorien enough time to finish us off. And the fact that the duo manages to be a threat no matter the distance always adds to the intensity of the fight. I've always been one to admit when I'm wrong, and accept the fact that my opinions are never meant to be set in stone and can always be changed, and this playthrough thoroughly changed my mind about this fight, as the Twin Princes are not only worthy of the title Lord of Cinder, but were such an excellent boss to put at the end of the journey. Out of all the Souls games, I ended up talking about these bosses the most out of any in the trilogy, and this is due in part to the Lord of Cinders being the only objective in the game, so talking about them is really all we can discuss. They are the main focus of the game, and thus need to have detailed lore to back it up. This was forgivable in the other games, as while those beings did have some importance in the world, they weren't the main focus, but in Dark Souls 3, they are. If it wasn't for the Lords of Cinder, we wouldn't have a game, so they ended up becoming the main focus of the story, and the devs managed to deliver. Aldrich is a testament to that statement, as I may have spent more time on them than any character in the series, with the exception of the Witch of Izalith, who coincidentally also had numerous bosses and characters tied to her plot. I was really impressed by the overall presentation of this game, especially when it came to our 4 Lords of Cinder, even including Yorm, who had a wonderful design and presentation, despite the fight being a bit lackluster. Their lore was rich with details, and the item descriptions were long enough to create an essay's worth of information, but also left enough info out to keep that Souls spirit of finding the context clues and filling in the gaps. Plus, the encounters with said bosses made the time spent getting to them worth it. Even Yorm, as once again, despite being disappointing, there was at least an attempt to create the spectacle of tackling a monolithic-sized giant. But if there was one thing that bothered me about this game, it was the lack of attention given to Dark Souls 2. Narratively, this actually fits quite well, as Drangleic was supposed to be seen as this unimportant kingdom that would be easily toppled and replaced with something else in time, only to be forgotten by the rest of the world. But if the point was to make the kingdom feel unimportant, why are there constant references to it, like Kraton appearing in Cirrus's quest, Lucatiel's armor and Aslatiel's sword resurfacing in the game, the dead giant at Firelink Shrine, and not only a portrait of Nishandra, but of Aleum Lois and Broom Tower found in Irithyll. It just feels confusing. It's like the team actively wants the player to know that despite not making Dark Souls 2, they are aware and care about the game, but barely put in the effort to justify it. What is truly the most upsetting part about this is that both Vendrick and Aldia, to my knowledge, are never mentioned once throughout the game. There is one magic spell found in the Grand Archives that says the words "the first of the scholars," which many people have pointed towards as linked to Aldia, but he was a scholar of the first sin, not a first scholar. Plus, the first of the scholars could refer to the scholars of the Grand Archives, not Aldia. It's a shame, because they were the only beings that we know of who sought to break the curse through unconventional means, and there's zero remnants of their work. The two are never brought up in the game, and the actual structures of Drangleic or Aldia's Keep are never seen in-game. I understand that Dark Souls 2 was not everybody's cup of tea, and maybe the original team wanted to do away with the B team's creation, but you can't deny that Vendrick and Aldia had the potential to create a sizable impact on the story, and for their legacy to be tarnished like this is a bit disappointing. With all the Lords of Cinder dead and their ashes within our inventory, we can now link the first flame. But before we do that, there is 2 DLCs and a couple other bits of content from the main areas that I want to address first. If we rewind and go back to Osiris and visit the area behind his boss arena, we'll uncover a place called the Untended Graves. This place is identical to the Cemetery of Ash in the beginning of the game, with the only difference being the lighting. It's one of the most talked about locations within the community, as this confusion coupled with this feeling of nervousness settles in, as upon entry you start to recognize all the familiar landscapes and are just bewildered that a place like this even exists. The boss is also identical, as it's Champion Gundyr as opposed to Udix. According to his boss soul description, Champion Gundyr came to Firelink Shrine to relink the fire, but failed and arrived too late. He was then eventually bested by an unknown warrior, and given the series' heavy use of that term, we can assume that this warrior was us. Afterwards, he then became a sheath for the coiled sword. So similar to Oosie and the Memory of the Giants, we can go back in the past, kill Champion Gundyr, who then becomes a sheath for the coiled sword, in hopes another warrior will come and use it to link the flame, who just happens to be us. We then take the sword from his present body as Udix Gundyr and use it at the bonfire. If we happen to defeat Champion Gundyr though, we'll be greeted with an identical Firelink Shrine, and while the Firekeeper is not here, there are an Eyes of a Firekeeper located inside the building. If we have the eyes in our inventory, Ludwith and the Firekeeper will comment on them. Ludwith refers to the Firekeeper as her, implying that he knows the identity of this person, and the Firekeeper will mention how these eyes reveal frightening images of betrayal in a world without fire. So we can assume that this was in the past, and since Ludwith is familiar with the Firekeeper and is Cinder, it's possible that this was during the time
I'm a Souls fan. I was watching this video while I'm munching on stuff. It's just I never really fully played the first 2 games, and some parts of the games confused the fuck out of me. So I like to get to gather information. You gather information from multiple sources. So exactly what I'm doing, gathering my information from my multiple sources. Watching a repeat of histories and understandings. Did I beat the Dark Souls 3? No. Did I play it? Yeah, but I also think I kind of I'm a little late to the party, and I constantly think about Elden Ring when I'm playing Souls. So what happens when I'm playing Demon Souls? I end up playing fucking I end up fucking playing what I do normally, so it ends up just kind of becoming a cycle of 5 minutes of Souls and be like, fuck it, I'm going back to Elden Ring. It is what it is. But Pop-Tarts.
Which would also connect to the intro of the game that says that the Land of Lords are converging together. This line just happens to be Ludwith's. But what doesn't make sense is the handmaid's dialogue. As in the Dark
Just so you know, I don't have my
her attitude seems to imply that the flame is still lit as she tells us to hurry along, but how is this possible?
I can see you, so I can
don't have an answer for
do
you.
that hug that look like you
one of the
want.
hardest parts of this game to wrap your head around, which makes discussing it extremely difficult. One explanation, though, could be that the Firekeeper's eyes are what's causing this darkness, as the world in present-day Dark Souls 3 is getting close to the Age of Dark, as evidenced by the giant dark sign eclipse in the sky, but there's still plenty of light left in this world, whereas in the Untended Graves, there's nothing. But if all the lights extinguish, then that implies that this is an Age of Dark, but Ludwith linked the flame and continued the Age of Fire. So that's why I think it's the eyes of a Firekeeper displaying a vision in the sense of what the world will come to should we enact this grand betrayal, which is letting the flame die out. Another thing of note though is the repair spell in Dark Souls 3, which says that light is time, and the reversal of its effect is a forbidden art. So this implies that the Untended Graves could be like the things betwixt. It's sort of stuck in limbo because there's no light existing and therefore time not existing. Regardless, despite its very confusing backstory, it's probably my favorite location to discuss in the game as there's so many possibilities as what this place truly means. The final location is near Irithyll Dungeon, as we can use the Dragon Pose from the Untended Graves to be transported into Archdragon Peak. We already know that immortality via dragon form is not unheard of, as many people worship the Stone Dragon in Dark Souls 1, Osiris is assumed to be human before he became a dragon, and we can actually find some dragon stones which will turn us into a humanoid dragon similar to the one sitting next to us. So it's pretty safe to assume that this place was used to worship the ancient dragons, despite the fact that they're all dead now. But even though they're all dead, that doesn't mean the other flying types won't exist, as we get to challenge a wyvern shortly after arriving, which at first glance is a pretty cool fight, until you realize that the enemies on the walkways are actually tougher than the boss itself. I can recognize that the team was most likely experimenting with some bold ideas for boss fights, and while it's definitely cool at first, it just feels a bit unnatural, if you will, as completely destroying its health bar in one plunge attack just felt off. Archdragon Peak not only has a questionable first boss, but also raises various questions that admittedly may leave people confused. Two characters have arrived at this location at certain points in time, which are Havel and Ornstein. We find Havel next to a downed dragon, and we find Ornstein's armor towards the end of the level. I can forgive Havel for being here since he's always had a hatred for dragons and Seath since Dark Souls 1, but that doesn't explain how he's alive. Well, Havel had a band of knights who followed him and more than likely wore the same armor as he did, so I don't think this is Havel, more just a knight of Havel. But while this is explained fairly easily, Ornstein is not. Ornstein has always had a complicated history within the series, as he was clearly present in Dark Souls 1, but then shows up again in Dark Souls 2 as the old Dragon Slayer, and then again in this game as the Dragon Slayer armor and in Archdragon Peak where we are now. Firstly, I've always been a firm believer in the fact that we kill Ornstein in Dark Souls 1. The old Dragon Slayer is simply someone who is trying to uphold Ornstein's legacy or is somehow connected to Ornstein's soul, since we know from Dark Souls 2 that the old Lord Souls can inhibit others' bodies, so it's possible Ornstein's soul inhibited someone wearing his armor. It's also possible that the soul felt comfortable with this decision, given Ornstein's armor is pretty synonymous with his legacy. As for Dark Souls 3, we know that the Dragon Slayer armor is not Ornstein, it is simply just another Dragon Slayer, as the weapon and armor are completely different. But Archdragon Peak is unique. This is not only the same armor that Ornstein wore, but its item description talks about how he left the Anor Londo Cathedral to come here, but when did this happen? He couldn't have came here and then went back to the cathedral, as his armor is located here, and he couldn't have left after Dark Souls 1 because he died. So the only real explanation that makes any plausible sense is that Ornstein dies in Dark Souls 1. He then has his soul return like the previous Lord Soul wearers, but decides to inhabit someone wearing his armor, or maybe even the armor itself, as it's familiar to the soul. We talked about in Dark Souls 2 how it seemed like the four Great Ones were connected to specific Lord Souls because of their feelings and emotions. We still don't know whether or not these Lord Souls connected with them because of these similar emotions, or if they gain these feelings from consuming the souls, but if this is true, then it would make sense that Ornstein is continuing to fight the same and has the same goals and ambitions across all the games. Regardless of how Ornstein is alive or how he even ended up here in the first place, we at least know why he was here, and that was because of the Nameless King. The Nameless King has actually been teased since Dark Souls 1, as he was the infamous firstborn son of Gwyn that was referenced in various items in that game. From both 1 and 3, we can piece together that the Nameless King is the firstborn son of Gwyn and was a dragon slayer during the war with the Everlasting Dragons. But at some point, he would eventually cast all this away and ally himself with the dragons, and if you want to talk about presentation when it comes to boss fights, this one needs to be mentioned. Not only does the introduction of the boss feel intense as the Nameless King swoops in on a Storm Drake, but when we finish the Drake off, he literally kills it and takes the power for himself. From just a pure gameplay perspective, he's easily the second best fight in the game. There's a feeling that occurs across the entire series when everything comes together. You've learned the moveset, understood the timings, and discovered the punishes. All that's required is to put it together. And when that clicks, it becomes one of the best fights in the game. His moves are punishing, have delays, and are even mixed together, as one combo might have 2 swings, but the next will be 3, or it will do away with the 3rd swing and add a completely different move. The fight requires complete concentration and the ability to be patient. Dodging too early will more often than not lead to your death, so you have to be on high alert for the whole fight. Genuinely a great fight from top to bottom, with it only being surpassed by one being we have yet to cover. But before we move on to the DLC, I want to look back at the game so far. Dark Souls 3 set out to create a dying world that features places that have been ridden with disease and death, showing to the player that their inability to let go of what they know and continue this Age of Fire will only make things worse. Even a basic understanding of the lore will convey this, as you can see just how bad everything has gotten, from the fact that there's hundreds of dead bodies littered throughout each level, and people are becoming corrupted and infected with these diseases and plagues, causing them to either go hollow or turn into a massive black sludge. The demon race, a group of beings thought to be on top, are dying out, the gods have all been wiped out, and the Lords of Cinder, beings who have the ability to rule over anything they please due to their power, refuse to continue this Age of Fire. Aldrich wants to continue his own age, so admittedly that is a bit more selfish, but the other 3 have recognized that their sacrifice did or will amount to nothing. Linking the flame never stopped the abyss, it never stopped the profane flame, and it's never going to end the suffering that's occurred since Lordran. So if the first flame is supposed to be this symbol of peace and comfort, then what is actually so good about it? All of this has been illustrated to us throughout the story and is a testament to how genius the writing of Dark Souls 3 truly is. But now it's time to move on. Not just to a new age, as that will come later, but to a new world. A painted world, even. This old man in front of us is Gale, and he's how we start the DLC, Ashes of Ariandel. We talked about this place briefly when we discussed Pontiff Sullivan and said it was a painted world for those without purpose. Upon entering, we're greeted by a deformed being who welcomes us and tells us to get comfortable on a bed of rot. Similar to the real world, the painted worlds have their own cycle, and it's this cycle that is so interesting, as in the main game, the Age of Fire is being constantly prolonged, and it's the Age of Dark that will take it over. But as we'll soon see, it's the rot that's being prolonged, and the only way to get rid of it is to burn it. The painted world of Ariandel is just a similar version of the Dark Souls universe, with the same themes and ideas just twisted around. They're both separate worlds with separate cycles, and each one has a particular cycle that is going on too long, and it's either the fire that's causing it or the fire that will get rid of it. This is also the reason Gale sends us to the painted world in the first place. As opposed to the Corvian we meet first, who tells us to embrace the rot, Gale and even this Corvian settler want us to set it aflame. Setting the painting aflame will allow a new painted world to be created, but they can't do that without fire, and the person preventing this is Sister Fried. She is the reason the rot is being prolonged, and she's also the other ash that the Gale and the Corvian refer to, meaning she's unkindled. It's because of her decision to keep the rot going that has caused much of the destruction of this place. Interestingly though, only the Corvians seem to care. As we talked about, the painted world is for those without purpose, and the Corvians aren't the only ones who reside here, as the soldiers are the members of the Undead Legion of Farron. In the beginning of the video, when we talked about the Abyss Watchers, I mentioned that when they linked the flame, the rest of the Legion left. Once that occurred, the others no longer had a purpose, and further lost any chance of having one once they came to the realization that their home had turned into a swamp. According to their armor, these Farron followers seem to be specifically tasked with killing any undead legion who succumbed to the Abyss, which makes me wonder how the Abyss Watchers cutscene would have played out had the assassins not left. Maybe the Abyss Watchers would have finally been able to regain their strength again now that they didn't have to kill each other. The other group of people are the Millwood Knights. They don't have too much lore and anything to really tie any of the characters or events to them, but at some point in time they lost their forest that they called home and then sought refuge in the painted world. These groups seem to just carry on throughout their day and simply exist within the painted world, but the Corvians are different, as you have the regular looking settlers who want to burn the rot away, but then there's also the Corvian Knights who were so infatuated with Sister Fried that they've now turned against their brethren. Just the basic idea of what the painted world represents to the people within it is such an intriguing concept, but the way this loosely connects to the main game's themes is genius. One thing I always found disappointing though about Ashes of Ariandel was the length. Once we enter the painting, we're to meet with Sister Fried, who welcomes us but just as quickly dismisses our arrival and tells us to leave because we no longer belong here. I have no issue with this as it's not holding the player's hand, but everything just feels like it's going so fast as right after this we're to find the painter, enter the basement of Sister Fried's church, activate a lever, and then we're already at the final boss. Everything just feels so fast, and I was surprised how quickly the final boss was introduced to me. I've talked about before how most of the Souls games DLCs are like this and don't take much time overall. This of course though largely depends on how fast you beat the bosses, as they're usually the main hurdles. But Ashes of Ariandel felt shorter than normal. There is an optional boss that could take up more of your time, but this was just so that the player could access the PvP matches, and the lore of the boss also connects to this, as this was the champion of the undead matches that the undead used to partake in. Other than that, it's pretty much just going from one area to the next, and the distance between them is quite short. Once we do finish talking with Sister Frieda though, our path will eventually lead us to the Corvian settlements, and its church where we will meet with Sir Wilhelm. He was the guard that was outside the church where Sister Fried was located. But what's more interesting though about Sir Wilhelm is that he not only has a black flame buff on his weapon, but he also wields the Dark Hand, both of which have ties to the Abyss. This relates back to Sister Frieda, as she was one of the 3 sisters of the Sable Church. Her other sisters were Liliane and Yuria, which means she has ties to Londor, and this is reinforced by the different dialogue options that we get from her if we have the Dark Sigils in our inventory from Yuria's questline. It's not much, but she does recognize us as the Lord of Hollows. Given that she is unkindled, it's possible that she tried to link the flame or usurp it, and this possibly got her exiled from the church. Without a purpose or home, she may have been drawn to the painted world, which is how she ended up here in the first place, and figured that she could rule over this land by herself. However, given that we have this innate ability to ruin people's plans, we're going to prevent Sister Fried from doing so. To do this, we need to talk to the painter and unlock the doors leading to her room. For her to be able to paint though, she will need to see flame, and to do this we need to get to the source.
I see flame. Flame flickering once again. Not enough blood yet shed. My flail. Bring me my flail.
This is Father Ariandel. the painter of the painted world of Ariandel, who is now being held captive by Sister Frida. She managed to convince Father Ariandel that the only way to preserve the painted world was to bury the flame and let the rock consume the world. To stop it from spreading, he uses his flail on himself, causing him to bleed, which appeases the flame. It's quite a sad story, and it makes Sister Frida out to be even worse of a person than she already was. Given that we're going against her wishes though, she fights us, and she is very difficult, which is also very entertaining. I love this fight, and I think it's a great way to end the DLC. The fight starts out quite normal until her blood reaches Father Ariandel, who freaks out, causing the room to be engulfed in flames, and him to break out of his restraints and attack us. Frida's also back, and it turns into a 2v1. It's very reminiscent of Ornstein and Smo, as the duo complements each other quite well. This is also the only fight in the trilogy, to my knowledge, where you can summon an NPC in the middle of the fight, as Gale can only be summoned for the second phase. It also makes sense to bring him along, since both you and him have the same objective, so there's no reason for him not to help you. After Sister Frida has been dealt with though, we can return to the Yeah, so if it wasn't already bad enough, Sister Frida has a third phase. This whole encounter is extremely stressful, as you not only have to plan for 1 but 2 extra phases. There's been so many times where I got pummeled during this fight in the first phase that I just reset, as I knew it wasn't worth starting the next phase with half the Estus. She really forces the player to learn her moveset. Thankfully though, Gale does make the encounter easier, but it's still very difficult even with his assistance. With Sister Frida and Father Ariandel dead for real this time, the fire will now be able to consume the painting without any delays, which means the painter can now work on the new world she plans to create. A cold, dark, and very gentle place, as she calls it. She's going to need paint to make that painting, and from what we learn from Father Ariandel's soul, we know that the paintings are written in blood. So Gale's objective will be to scour the land for some blood to use as pigment, and while he does that, we can go on to the next DLC, but Gale's here too. He has written messages for us and points us towards where we're supposed to go, so what blood is he getting? Well, Gale is trying to find the blood of the Dark Soul, which leads him to the Ring City. Ashes of Ariandel was a short but decent DLC. The bosses were great, and the actual design of Ariandel was beautiful, from its frozen tundras to its rotted swamps, but if it felt complete, or if the DLC suddenly ended so soon, that's the point, as both of Dark Souls 3's DLCs are a connected story. The story of Gale and the Painter, and their quest to create a new world, which leads us to the Ring City. The start of the Ring City DLC sees us travel to the Dreg Heap, the area we talked about earlier in the video. As I said then, time is getting worse as the world progresses, and this is a perfect example, as now that the Age of Fire is getting even closer to the end, lands are converging on each other more and more, and the world is practically collapsing in on itself. Here in the Dreg Heap, we can see nostalgic callbacks to the past, like the Earthen Peak Windmill and the Desert Pyromancer from Dark Souls 2. This is a very long and convoluted level to really showcase how bad everything has gotten, but at the very end of the level is the Demon Duo. Not only is the gameplay of this fight fantastic, as it not only surpasses the previous duo, but might even be on par as Ornstein and Smo, but the location of the fight is heavily theorized to be the original Firelink Shrine of Dark Souls 1. The reason being is that the exit of this arena is the same structure that Framped appears in. Gale can once again join you for this fight, but it will trivialize this encounter tremendously, as the demons have long cooldowns between their attacks and also alternate movesets. I actually found this fight to be balanced while being outnumbered, so adding more people makes it worse. Once the demons are both dead, the last one to die gets to be reborn as the Demon Prince. Just like the first flame, the Chaos Flame needed to be rekindled by a demon with vast power, and the current Demon Prince at the time was going to, but ended
I saw, well, I watched some of your live streams.
Appreciate that. I've been streaming a little less too because I've been sleeping a little more during the week. Sometimes it's hard to stream or play games Monday to Friday because I'll be at work. I work a physical job, right? So right now it's fucking hot. That don't help either.
Yes. Did you read everything they did in this update?
Yeah, I made a little post in my Discord with a video that was talking about like doing like a large breakdown of the video, like the update too. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna fully judge the update after the War Bond comes out.
Well, to me, they nerfed. Currently, the people they nerfed the best.
See, but that's the thing
ever.
that they see. My possibility is the fact that they just want you to use the new shit. I've thought about this for a little while. Why would they make the old Firestar a little insignificant? Because you know what happened last time they released an update? They did a buff that same update that made that gun of that update absolutely useless and nobody ever used it. For fuck's sakes, it's so bad nobody still uses it even after it's buff. Do you know what gun that is? The Tenderizer. The Tenderizer came out, and I'm gonna tell you right now, when it came out, it was worse than the Liberator that they just recently buffed. It had literally 10 less damage than the standard Liberator. Why the fuck would you use an assault rifle with 10 less damage and 10 less magazine? Oh, because it has 10 less recoil? The motherfucker already has, like, the Liberator almost has no recoil. There's no reason for less recoil. But no, that was the big difference. So it's like, I think the reason they did that was because last time they gave you a release of this shit, it kind of fucked us. Do you know what I mean? Or they fucked themselves.
Yeah, but I still will agree with the community, and a lot of the community does feel betrayed because they did say they weren't going to nerf anything anymore, and so when they did, this kind of led to backlash, and the backlash is still
okay,
ongoing.
but I also think that the backlash is ridiculous because I have heard myself people say the game is too easy. So
I've kind of heard.
no, don't get me wrong. I've heard the opposite too, but I've also heard people complain that the game is too easy. I have personally heard those complaints. So when the devs are hearing a fair bit of both, which way are you gonna swing? I personally think that maybe some of us are a little too butthurt over some nerfs that do happen. Like, yeah, I get the game is supposed to be PvE and nerfs sometimes fuck with shit, but we haven't gotten the new items. And to be frank, I stopped using the Breaker Incendiary because I genuinely thought it was getting too good. Because it wasn't just good on bugs. I was literally using it on bots. I was using it on everything. I literally was making a joke where I could point it into the fucking sky, rain literal fire upon an area, and kill like 30 enemies. In Helldive.
I think that's why a lot of people use the Breaker, because it was really
but that's the thing
good.
though. Sometimes things are, and some people forget. Sometimes things are too good. And the game's balance is supposed to be where we're supposed to use stratagems and all these other things, right? So yeah, givenly that the balance isn't there yet, but the balance isn't supposed to be that we get these guns that are insane. It's supposed to be our strategies and skills.
I can see your point and all that, but I really can't see your argument for why they nerfed the flamethrower.
I'm telling you right now, because tomorrow,
good.
tomorrow, actually in a couple of hours, we're getting a whole brand new fire set of things.
That just kind of seems pity.
But the thing is though, we have no idea how that shit's gonna be. For all we know, that's gonna be some crazy fire stuff. And the other thing too, this is something I thought about. What if they actually nerfed the shit for us? For the divers themselves. What do I mean by that is, motherfucker, I die in my current armor set. It takes half a second to die from fire accidentally hitting me in the back. Half a second to a second.
Well,
so now let's turn this into a competition of, what if in the next 2 days everybody's just running only fire? But I'm refused to wear a fire suit. Have you ever played in the beginning of the game where everybody was running the fucking arc shit? And you were literally dying from your own teammate every 5 seconds? Trust me, bro, when the game first came out and people were just using like the fucking electric guns all willy-nilly and they didn't have that like arc reduction suit, brother, my own teammates were the most biggest danger to me. So I have to see what it is they're gonna bring next before I make a judgment on whether or not they should have nerfed this thing. Because 2 mags, okay, yeah, it makes the gun a little more demanding, but I kind of understand. Like when I read the what they were talking about. I get it. Because you know what's now happened? All the people that were using, so like they were saying, there's an issue where you could say you could buff other weapons, but then you run into the same where I call a block of over buffing isn't good either. You can't balance things if you keep buffing things. Because then what's going to happen is every weapon is going to turn into an RPG game where you're doing millions of damage because your enemies have hundreds of millions of damage. Which is a ridiculous number to work with. But working with smaller numbers, you have, how would you say it, more correction to do.
Yeah. I guess people are coming from the level 10 and 9 difficulties are so hard, it's kind of hard to not, well, it's hard to beat them without a overpowered weapon.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm pretty sure I've watched Medic use the same fucking Dominator shield combo since I've been playing with him like for 200 hours almost. I've literally used the Liberator since day one. There are other 100% other ways to play. I've said the problem, and there's a problem with a lot of games, is everyone gets stuck on a meta. Welcome to the fact that if you're going to be a meta player and use the thing that's only going to be good, you're going to be very limited when that thing stops being good. So the first thing I'll tell you is one gun that got nerfed. My favorite sidearm got technically nerfed, but I actually don't feel it. 6 grenades still feel like plenty of grenades, and I'm not going to cap at you when I say the 4 grenade to the 2 grenade. Fuck it, I take it. I actually take the debuff of 2 grenades to getting 4 grenades because, man, I'm actually restoring some fucking grenades in my, like, grenade pistol over having to use, like, an entire backpack to replenish my pistol. Do you know what I mean? Oh! Oh! What a fucking day.
Yeah. Oh, alright.
Double tennies? Must be my happy day. 3 tennies!
I've grown to really like. I've grown to like this mech a lot because of the minigun. It's so good against the small one.
You know what? I'm actually quite happy to see people using that mech.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say, bro, I'm pretty sure that's the 3rd.
Oh, we got Fungal, the new, I forgot his name.
Oh, we got the funky charger. We got the stinky boy.
And I'm right now working. Yeah. I think a lot of people's reaction to that one is Cloud is a little too big. Stinky Cloud is a little too big. I think that's a lot of people's
Bro,
reaction.
honestly, I was expecting the tentacle beast to be a little smaller. I ain't gonna cap at you. When I see how big it was, I was scared.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, why does this thing gotta actually be the size of Terramorphous from fucking Borderlands 2?
Yeah, by the way, have you tried out the new difficulty?
I'm trying to unlock it.
Okay, well, when you unlock it, I'm willing to play it with you. Because I want to try it
I was gonna
out.
say, I'm pretty sure if you've not unlocked it yet by playing Helldive since the update, we both are about to unlock it.
I haven't done level 8 mission yet, so I haven't.
Oh,
unlocked
shit,
level 9,
okay.
To be honest.
Yeah, okay, so we unlock level 10 and then we do it. So at some point you and I gotta run you a level 8.
Okay. I'm probably about to be left straighter.
I'm getting tentacle
barely,
blush
I'm
stuff.
fucking away.
There's a beast somewhere nearby.
Okay.
Oh, flack! Ah! The fuck you mean I'm leaving the mission area? HQ, did you not see me get flung out of the mission area? You a dickhead HQ. You're a real big ass dickhead HQ.
I'm literally putting elbow on that thing, tactical boy.
What you mean? I'm using my trader privileges. Haven't you heard of those? This is called the Forbidden Stratagem.
Oh, bitch.
I'm using the Forbidden Stratagem because the fucking thing.
Oh, I would love a back right now. Oh.
Hey, but I got like 50 kills with this Forbidden Stratagem.
Wait, you died?
My man, I was labeled a traitor because the tentacle threw me outside of the fucking map. It took me way longer than 10 seconds.
Well, you guys going out with me?
That, what was feeling like a 380 was not a 380. That was the secret stratagem called the Traitor's Barrage.
Oh.
That's why I was like, I'm using the secret stratagem. The tentacle beast literally yeeted me. I had no choice.
Oh. I landed. It was very possible.
I just watched the Bile Titan kill half that little army.
Using some napalm on these jerkers.
And like personally too, I was a big fan of the Arc Blitzer, and I like the fact that it's pretty much automatic now.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
Oh, we got another tentacle.
I see that.
I got about 30 with that.
Hell, that's sexy as fuck. 30 with a big bomba?
I can't concentrate. I can't concentrate.
You just need more caffeine.
Well, no, I'm trying to play my bugs. I'm freaking out.
Democracy has landed.
Oh! Thank you. Oh, my draft is recharging. Oh, we got 2 tentacle boys. Oh! You know, I may use the opinion stratagem for a second. You know what? Screw it. Come on.
So the way you gotta run is you gotta run a little left and then
Okay.
you gotta run a little right because it drops it on the left and then it'll try to drop it on the right. Now,
Okay, well, I've been Demon Trader. It's a little hard to run with this heavy armor, but it will do. Oh, we got Darker. I'm in the middle of that Darker. Oh, I can kill 30 with the Trader thing. Oh, I'm about to die. I'm dead. Oh.
hey, but you like the amount of kills you got with the secret stratagem, the Traitor's Barrage?
Yeah, let's see.
Oh shit, I just watched this man get shot down from space. That was sick as fuck.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen that. Oh. First thing my man gets to see is a giant tentacle in his face.
Yeah. Well, luckily we're not in Japan, so tentacle won't do certain things.
Joining the fray.
Eat some napalm. Oh, you got my napalm. Well, we almost got this. quickly.
Oi, you fucking tits! Oh yeah, I forgot you can use stims to, actually get stamina now.
Yeah.
Chris, level 0 super citizen. Hell yeah. My man was like, oh, well, I was like, damn, level 0. My man was like, first day on the job, send me into Helldive, baby. I was born ready for the streets.
So, you may not like this, but currently 2 people, the level 10 difficulty, pair for like 10 waves every single second.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I heard from Medic. I heard how brutal it gets. I also watched videos. But as I said, it's the first week of a new launch, and I think people were way too freaking out about an Earth of a shotgun that they were even, like, exploring.
Yeah. Well, I will say I'm almost done with my first work on just I think this is only 6 things I missed.
Nice. Asks up.
Helldiver.
But I will say I can't wait to play some stuff. Oh, by the way, if you cares, I was using the Slugger because they updated, and I will say it's pretty nice now.
That's good to see. See? I was using the Blitzer, and I will say the exact same thing. The Blitzer feels... Even though I liked it before, I hated having to spam the fucking button. Well, having to spam the button, I don't mind the, like, pump. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, it's actually a good weapon in my opinion. I already liked it, but I would actually recommend it to more people. I want to check out the crossbow, but I feel like the crossbow is going to be more of a bot weapon. And only because now they let you use it with a shield. So I feel like that's a plus, but only for like bots.
But I can't wait for the new war bonds and all the new things, like you help are able to like have fire around it when you land. That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for like just the variety more, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I like seeing the Viper Commando badge, I want to see some people rocking other shit, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm really happy about one cape because I always wanted like a black and red cape, and one of the new capes is basically that. It looks so cool.
I know one of the armors we're gonna be getting is gonna be like a yellow and black version, like just pretty much, you know, the regular armor, but like the armor pieces actually being yellow now, and the clothing being black.
Yeah.
So it's called Golden Eagle set. I'm actually excited about that coming out.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, when you finish a war bond, can you actually get another war bond for free, or?
You got the Super Citizen pack, so you should have like the Steeled Veterans free. But no, you just get like whatever super credits you get from that thing, and then whatever super credits you can get from playing the game, and usually you can buy the war bonds. Like I already have 1,090 super credits just ready to go.
Yeah, I haven't done much grinding because this is a game I like, but it's a game I play on and off.
I feel that. I took my off period after 200 hours though. Not gonna sit here making it seem like I didn't play 200 hours before I stopped playing. That's why I'm like, that's why I'm on a bit of a hiatus sometimes, because of this. That I like. Let me see exactly how much, because the game tells you how much in mission hours you've put in. 309 in mission hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the first live stream I watched, your live stream, you had face cam on, so I was able to see what you look like, and to be honest, not trying to offend you, but I didn't think you would look like
yeah,
that.
I was gonna say, I probably look like a 12-year-old and somewhat handsome, I don't know. I'm also jacked
Yeah.
as fuck, which is, again,
I mean-
something most people don't understand by the sound of somebody's voice or the fact that I sound like a fucking nerd 90% of the fucking time doesn't help.
Also, I will say I watched the part of stream I was in, and my mic makes me sound like I have a high-pitched voice sometimes, but I will say I am the exact opposite. If you meet me in real life, I have a very deep
I'm gonna be honest with you, your mic, it sounds like it's not doing you justice, and I do understand that, because I know my mic, like the one I'm using to you, sounds weird, while the one that you'll hear, like, on stream is an actual, like, podcast mic, right? So you're gonna hear my voice a little more, like, what it actually sounds like. And yes, I unfortunately have a voice of a prepubescent boy at 30 years old. I'm gonna be 30 in like
Also,
20 days, and yeah, it still sound like a 12-year-old boy.
I don't know how this is possible, but I get your messages before you send me them. Like, I see you send me a message, and before you're finishing typing it on stream, it like pops up.
Oh, because my stream is 6-second delay.
before.
Because I don't want to get stream sniped. So when I'm playing competitive games, just because of that, I don't want to constantly go in, because it's not an easy setting to change. I just don't fuck with it. My stream is exactly 6 seconds behind. So when you receive my message on PlayStation, you're receiving it 6 seconds before you'll actually hear my response. Now, that's also why sometimes you feel a discrepancy of hearing me here to the stream. Like, even myself, to see my own stream and, like, mediate it, I have a separate window for my streaming, like, app. And that's, like, second to second. But if, like, let's say I watch it on YouTube, or I watch it on Kick, or any of the, like, if I watch it on 3 of my platforms, Twitch, Kick, or YouTube, I'm watching 6 seconds behind, so I'm seeing what you guys are seeing. I have to specifically access my streaming platform, you know, app in order to see the non-delayed version.
Okay, this may be a slightly interesting question, but have you ever played the
Yes, I
Hitman
have.
games? Yes, I have. Okay, because for Christmas I am gonna get the for my birthday. I really want this game. Is coming out in some. I'm mainly I want stuff for the computer, but for Christmas I am gonna get the newest Hitman game. It comes with all three.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Ones. And so I know there was a little bit of a challenge of like racing to see who could do a mission first. After I get it, I'm perfectly fine with you and me actually like challenging each other to see who can do a mission faster.
I mean, I'd have to borrow the game from my buddy again, I think, but I can see myself doing this.
Yeah, because I always kind of race myself against someone to see who's better at Hitman.
I mean, now, by no means am I an expert at Hitman games, but I did play them.
I did play the first one too on the Xbox, but I got
You
like
Xbox.
I remember
Okay.
there was a time when you could buy.
Helldivers to Hellpods. Repeat.
Yeah.
Helldivers
When the first
to
one
Hellpods.
came out, when the first newest one came out the pre or now out, they made it so you could buy the missions separately, and I remember on Game Pass, because they don't do it on the Edge, got rid of off the shop, but on Game Pass at some point they just released all the missions for free on Game Pass, so I just downloaded all of them and just did all the missions.
See, I forgot,
So
you know,
nice.
it was so long ago, I forgot about that you actually had to buy the missions because they wanted it to be like a chapter-based book almost. I remember, didn't they get a lot of
Yeah,
backlash for
the
that?
game- I think they did, and that's why when the Surge game came out, they
Just full,
released
yep.
all the missions at
Yeah,
once.
okay, I remember that only because I remember being like, it's a little weird, but to be honest, I feel like games nowadays always have like shit you have to pay for after. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I always wanted to do the Paris level, but the first level I was able to get for free was the second level for the first game. And when I got the Paris level, one of my favorite ways to kill one of the targets, is just drop this lights on him, because you can get on top of it. Yes, you can drop the lights on him and you can kill him that way. And it will count as an accidental kill because everybody sees it, but it's an accident. It's just, as I think in one of the missions for Hitman 3, they show that kill. And so I think they're saying, I'm pretty sure the game does say that it's like the canon way Hitman kills.
Yeah. You know what's funny too, because you're like, if I remember correctly, there are options in the game, but there's also like a canonical kill to the games as well. So like, this is the actual kill. This is the kill that I chose. Kind of like if you look at like the Souls franchise, right? Because the reason I was watching the video you were hearing me listen to is because there's something I was confused about. Because like the Souls are one of 3 games. Did it make it so that there was a canonical ending? And as I was finding out, I'm like, yeah, there is. The rekindling of the flame is the canonical ending. Now, the reason I was confused, though, is because the games are called Dark Souls. I just assumed at some point the canonical ending, and it seems the 3's canonical ending may be the Dark Soul ending. But...
yeah, that is the
but the other games, but the other games apparently you have to keep the flames running, right? Which I'm like, okay, well that makes sense on why there's 3 games. You repeated the cycle up until so many times. But I was just confused because, as I said, I never played the other 2, and I played Demon's Souls. Not Dark Demon.
I tried to play Demon Souls, but as soon as I realized when you die, you have to restart the entire level, I was just like, yeah, this game is gonna make me frustrated.
You didn't grow up in the 90s in video games. I grew up in the 90s, and I didn't always have a memory card at a friend's house to play certain games. I had to beat them real good.
To be honest, I kind of wish I was born in the 90s so I could play these games when they came out, but I was born in the early 2000s.
Oh yeah, you still got access to them, but you also got the spoiling of not having a fucking memory card. So you're just sitting there like, oh god, I gotta finish this game in one night because I can't save my progress. Every game was a Dark Souls game without a memory card.
Okay. Guess what was my first like kind of gory, kind of horror type game I ever saw as a kid?
So okay, you 2000s kid.
Allied destroyer has joined squadron.
I will admit I was around 6. I was born I think around 2003 to 5. I was 6 when I saw this, so guess what was out around that time?
Prototype. Resident Evil.
Wrong.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. You know what? I should have.
Yeah. I saw my dad play that game, and he played it, and it felt like weeks it took him to beat it. So I thought it was a really long game, but when I played it, it wasn't. I could beat it in a day.
Yeah, it's called. Have you ever? Your dad was a dad, okay? You had to take care of your ass while playing this game. You know what? I'm gonna give you a quiz next time. I'm gonna make you take care of a kid that's a random kid and make you play the game at the same time in between the spare times. I see how fast you beat the damn thing.
Well, if he's just watching, I imagine it wouldn't take that long.
I probably wouldn't. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. My dad, even though he introduced me to games, I don't remember much of them, but I remember whooping his ass in games. That I do remember. That I have a vivid memory of. Like I remember my mom kicking my ass in Crash Bandicoot. That's a vivid memory. Because that shit annoyed the fuck out of me for years. Like, I was one of those kids who I didn't want to lose to my mom. So I would challenge her for years every day and still lose.
Yeah.
Is this your whole group?
The Boosie, yeah. Boosie, the guys with
Oh.
Boosie.
Oh, okay, shit. Alright, I'm waiting on a +1. But but I'll
Yeah,
roll with you guys until he
Ross
wakes
is
up.
gonna be in here.
Hello, damn it.
What's up? What's up?
Not much, chilling.
Hellpod launch initiated.
Boosie's also Canadian.
It's me, the captain.
What's up?
I do things and stuff. So remind me never to be curious about alien artifacts, because apparently I just read that's treasonous. Oh no. There goes Mitchell.
Okay. You know what I'm excited for?
No, but you should let me know.
The new Aliens movie. I'm a massive fan of the Aliens.
That was funny.
franchise.
I was just like when me and my mom went to go see Deadpool on the weekend. We saw a preview for it, and I was just telling her I want to go see it. It actually looks interesting.
Well, I'm buying some. I just killed some the invisible dudes, so they have a nest of mine.
I got stalkers nearby.
Oh, that's about time. Come here. I kill you, Rocket. Come here. This fight has running away. Up here. Oh, we got tentacle dude too. Say hello to democracy! Oh, wait. Oh, I did. Yep, I'm dead. I didn't see the button.
Apparently my orbital didn't do shit to that fucking tentacle beast. That one does though.
So what we're doing? Oh, we're doing some oil.
Ready, liberate!
We're doing new. Oh.
So Medic, I don't know if you've noticed it, but the fucking claws of the tentacle beasts are very sticky. You get stuck to them.
Yes.
They like to hit you multiple times and you just can't get off the fucking ground too.
I've yet to experience that, but I have gotten flung. Earlier, I literally got flung outside of the, like, play zone by the thing. I was like, oh, this is fucking great.
I believe it. I believe it.
My luck is bad enough with that shit, you know, on a regular basis. Now they got this thing, which will pretty much auto-fling me to death.
As soon as you get into one of those mega nests, you'll see.
Yeah, I can imagine, bro. I watched a bot video of a mega nest, like a mega, like, fortress. And I shit myself just from the raw amount of cannons that pointed at this man's. It was like illegal.
What I've heard is, yeah, but guaranteed. Currently, people, that's a guaranteed place for super resources, so you will find like the super like resources there.
Oh, I fucking hope so. With how crazy that shit look.
Oh, also, hello, medic.
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't speak much, huh?
That's alright. I haven't played with you in a while.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Medic. I think I'm the only one who talks to, like, half-mute people. I just talk to myself half the time, pretty much.
I do that way too much. I talk to myself way too much, almost every day.
Not the same way. I'm a streamer, and sometimes my viewers are passive, so they don't really talk back. So there's people, but I just literally talk to mutes. Plus, Medic pretty much carries me in like 90% of my games now, so... I carry people in Elden Ring, and Medic carries me in regular people games.
Yeah.
I play too much Souls games to be good at anything else sometimes. I'm all about memorizing timing and shit.
Yeah, you were talking about games you're playing the other day, and you never mentioned Elden Ring. What the fuck?
What's up?
You mentioned games that you were playing recently. You didn't mention Elden Ring. It's like this man plays until the brink of fucking
That's why I say. That's why I don't say I play Elden Ring. I am Elden Ring. I can't say I play something I pretty much live in. It would be an understatement.
Watch out for the Imperial.
Oh god, oh god, oh, yep, no, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. They gave me the slap ass and they kept slapping.
You got a visual? I see him, I see him. Okay, he's down, he's down. Oh, one of them's down. Yeah, he's down.
I see there's a Bile Titan right there. I'm coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, well, apparently I wasn't strong enough of a fucking drop to kill him.
I will say, this map is not really good for air strikes. A lot of air strikes.
Yeah, I'm noticing that too. I almost feel like you have to do a barrage and then start doing fucking airstrikes.
Yeah, that's another fire side. Luckily, my laser has been recharged.
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you though, Medic. I've literally, like, I think I have over 1,200 hours in Elden Ring. Because I have like 800 or so hours on my PS5. And I think I have just about the same, maybe 200 less on my PS4.
Oh, that's another charger.
I realized the other day when I gave a buddy one of my weapons to use on his build, I kind of laughed because it was the weapon I carried. I, as a joke, had one of my friends pick up my PS4 katana and carry it to my PS5 account. So I've technically been using the same weapon for like 800 hours. And then I now granted it to my buddy to beat the game with. I would like to think that's a day one weapon in its own right. I only say in its own right because I was like, I think maybe day two I got that weapon because it was the Moon Veil. Took me a little to find where it actually was because I wasn't watching videos or nothing like that. I was also one of the fucking people that I got to witness day one Radon. And the piece of shit that was. Every time I've faced him since, like, the initial patch. Oh god, I'm dead. I saw that.
Pick your landing target. There's 3 of them.
Aye, aye, sir. Oh, I got
I
myself stuck.
see 3 chargers.
Okay, or it won't let me move at all. That is a very cool thing.
Calling down a group of weapons.
Oh! Well, that works. I got the charm on.
Nice, dude.
There we go. Don't. Oh, I'm dead. They're calling the air track, but shark don't come.
Have a taste of democracy.
Okay. See, I got my mech ready.
Freedom forever.
Oh god. Ah! Medic, did you watch me get literally stuck on that fucker's leg and flung while I was still alive?
Come on. Come on.
I turned around and stood still.
Bro, that charger literally was, I was stuck to his leg getting smashed into the ground. That is not okay. Why is his leg so sticky all of a sudden?
Every armor support heading your direction. Die,
That's one thing I am finding slightly entertaining. Since the update, I've noticed some of the larger bugs, their appendages are sticky. Like, I've been sticking to them. Like, as if these fuckers are spiders.
Well, to be honest, if they get a bug at some point would look like a spider, I would spread like that.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they're arachnids as much as they're either beetles or, no, I think these are beetles.
I don't know, with those tongues, there's something else.
I killed one of the chargers, but I had 2 on my butt. Main gun doesn't do much
Calling in
against them.
orbital strike.
I mean, have you seen those flies that drink sap? Man, those, they get pretty nasty looking. They're like fucking horsefly straight up get that barbed shit that digs into you.
You need some help, medic.
Charger right in your ass.
Oh! Well, I can't exactly do much against that spider. I'm stuck. I am literally stuck.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, there is a lot of shit here. None of it friendly.
Yeah, tempted to just do the objective because, oh boy.
Oh, well, there goes my turret I just deployed. Got Hawk 2'd on.
Where's the objective? Where's the
I was
objective?
running to the objective, but they
Objective's
cut
over
me
there.
off.
Yeah.
2 Bile Titans, a Charger, and what looked like a Tentacle Beast was chasing me. I think the Tentacle Beast might have diverted somewhere else.
Helldiver, reporting to the front.
What the? Oh! I got flung in the air. I'm flying. I literally got launched in the air by a tentacle. A tentacle literally just... It literally just was on top of me and flung me probably a good 100 feet in the air. Oh, nice. Okay, objective is over there, so I'll just go around. Now I'm realizing the armor I brung may not have been the best thing because there's so many bugs. Because I brung heavy armor, but it's good. I mean, it just, I really need that stamina.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I need a medium armor myself. I like being tanky, but it's a little hindersome right now.
enemy patrol right over there. Trying to avoid it.
Enemy, ah, hell no, to the nah, 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 hell to the nah.
Hell no. There's also some bugs over there. Well, the bugs are right there.
Sorry, medic. My gun decided that you were as willing of a target as the others.
Generators. About the generators and this thing. Well, no, that's right next to them. Okay, enemies are here. I have to go around. How about open the laser? Clear out the enemies with the laser and then. Yeah. I just looked at the map. There's so many bugs actually.
Oh fuck, tentacles. Fucking shit. I didn't get my fucking ratted them off. Bunch of medic tentacles.
Lost that to some trees. Damn it, to kill that. I haven't killed all of them. Just a couple of mobs.
He's trying to melee him.
I'm on.
No, Charger Behemoth just literally charged me from when I tried to, like, crush that fucker. Can you believe it?
Okay, one down, two to go.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, one of them is a Charger.
Okay.
Oh no, I see what you mean. I keep getting stuck on their fucking feet. I don't know what it is. I think this is gonna be like one of those days. I'm gonna make a video of all the times these fucking things dragged me.
There's a lot of these guys. Look, losing, I have one shot. Them. Okay. Yep. Absolute. Yeah, you gotta try to get next to me. I have a slug. One shot, slug. Heal. There we go. Maybe able to quickly. Wait. Oh, no, sorry, a little. Yeah, there we go.
Back,
Yeah,
left leg.
where are you? There you are. You gotta stay on this. I'm on the generator. Just need to activate this. Hit. There we go.
Calling down a sentry.
Okay, heading back to you guys. Close. Here's some napalm.
Okay, I think I just seen the funniest shit ever. My knives have a trail of smoke behind them now.
Cool.
I think it's actually because players couldn't see the knives I was throwing. Oh shit. Damn, auto cannon. Oh, watch your back. Damn! That rocket turret didn't kill you.
I'll help you, medic.
Watch the turret.
I think it's more worried about killing me and these bugs here. I got hit like 4 times.
It's trying to shoot the shrieker. Oh my god.
It was trying to shoot these bugs that were up here. But it hit me like 2 times. I was like, uh-oh, I'm gonna die.
I'll set some napalm right there.
Charles Ray Napalmer. Bro, I landed on your head.
Yes, see that. Also, I wonder if I can
There
create
is literally
glitch
2
with,
fucking chargers
agreement.
just casually walking.
So let's see. This free mode? This free mode? Yeah. So I want to jump but try to email at the same time.
If you have heavy armor and you're using the Scorcher Purifier, I mean the Punisher Purifier, you can legitimately do this really funny glitch where you pretty much shoot yourself into the sky using the weapon.
Okay. So that's a charger.
Damn, my cannon just shot the fucking corpse just to make sure.
Okay, but get back. New deck, me. So there are some more nests, but we're low on buys, so I really don't know if you should try.
I think we're trying to unlock
Yeah.
tents, yeah.
Like, if it's on the way, I've been grabbing it, but if it feels out of the way, I've been running past it. 2 spore chargers, though, within the vicinity. Do you guys see that? One is literally right up ahead, right there. Oh, bad. Right up ahead, right there. I don't think it's a spore net. No, it's a charger. It's walking towards us. Cloud is coming right at us, medic.
Okay. I'm actually happy I was able to do this eject of my own, the generator.
Man,
See, I only have one air.
fucking, where's Shrek?
So I'm just gonna reach.
Where's fucking Shrek? I'm in a swamp. He ain't yelling at me yet.
Yes. Now it'd be even cooler if they do this. If they have a anomaly, like a environment anomaly, and the environment will just turn pitch black, and you just start fighting like night vision. Like you go full on night vision. That would be awesome.
I don't think so. I'm a blind man. I don't need any more references to being pitch black.
Well, that's not the cool part. The cool part is when it does happen, you could go some full on night vision, so everything's green.
Night vision hasn't been green in years. Night vision is in like weird black and white with red thermals detection. I own a pair. Well, I owned a pair. I need to update mine.
Yeah.
I mean, I just bought a brand new plate carrier with plates and other things, so probably should definitely update my goggles and my helmet.
Okay.
I like that shit. I like collecting that type of shit too.
Yeah.
Whatever it is I have at my house, there's probably 4 more of it for everybody else in the house. I'm like, I got bulletproof vest. Mother and two roommates need bulletproof vest. I have bow and arrow. Mother and two roommates need bow and arrow.
So you got nothing nice for a platoon, dude.
Yes. Yes, I do, actually. I normally buy in sets of 4 because I'm not the only member in this household, and it sounds funny to say it like this, but I've always said it. I expect everybody to defend this bitch. On the first line, but y'all gotta know what to do if I don't come back from the front line. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When it comes to guns, I'm probably the best shot in the house. When it comes to like some of the accessories, like the bow and arrow especially, I think Kayla and my mom got me beat. My shots have been a little unstable with my age. Okay, how you don't die and I... It's that bullshit I was talking about.
Oh, I died before my character could heal.
I'm gonna still call some fragments of bullshit because we got hit by the same guy. Oh!
Oh, time to call.
Oh!
I got charged in my body. Oh, now.
Yep. I got 2 titans and tentacles. I don't know. Oh, the one titan's dead. Oh, fucking tentacles just pushed me away from the fucking ship. You seen that bullshit, medic? I was just about to get in, and the tentacles pushed me away. Out of my fucking way! Out of my way! And the tentacles got me mid-jump. It says kill by explosion, but there ain't no fucking explosion that happened right there.
Yeah.
I had a sliver of health. Something came through the ship.
It was the tentacles.
Yeah.
Literally, because that's what just killed me. They literally went.
Well, that's a flying bug net and an artillery gun. But that's alright.
I'm a call slight bullshit because last night we failed the mission with 2 stars.
Oh yeah, I said I was gonna play with you guys last night, but literally an hour before you got on, I fell asleep.
Bro, that's life in a nutshell. I keep saying to my buddy Justin, some days I'll be like, yo, we on tonight. One of us passes out. One of us will pass out.
Yeah.
Getting snack? Understood.
Yeah. You know, I'm actually gonna switch to armor disc. I actually bought it off the shop.
Oh, hell yeah, I like that one.
Well done.
See,
Lots of enemies killed and lots of samples
This
to
one?
help us figure out
Yeah.
how to kill them.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like that one. It's a good armor. Prior to the patch that made the basic armor better. That armor. Sorry, my controller's a little buggy. That's why. Okay, if you ever see my character looking like he's standing a little weird or moving a little weird, it's this controller that I use is got stick drift, so he's constantly like wanting. See, he's turning like to look that way directly. See, like that's not me controlling it. That's like the stick drift wanting. Like I'm trying to keep my character going towards the map, but he keeps turning like to the right.
Yeah. My other controller is I kind of spammed the square button on it a little too hard, and so sometimes when I hit it, my character just doesn't want to reload.
Oh, yep, no, I've had that before. I had it with fighting game. So I stopped playing fucking fighting games unless I have a specific controller dedicated to it. Because you spam that shit long enough, that controller turns into mush.
Yeah.
The controller did all it could. I'm gonna repeat quick.
Okay.
Proud to serve by your side, sir. They escape the farms. They murder good citizens of Super Earth. Now, they're coming for you. The only thing that can stop them. A strong economy. Don't let your family get murdered. Spend your extra cash today.
Know what happens if Arthur throws an axe at the magician instead of shooting at his teeth? Somehow catches
Bad guys for hire. Why is a civilian not?
earn yourself. Arnold Schwarzenegger may never have been the Terminator if it wasn't for a Crusoe. Chill back. Never should.
Ready for another mission, Helldiver?
Hang on a second. Where did that go? Oh.
Your fellow Helldivers rage against the enemy's tyranny. Join them.
Medic inspired me to grab some Gatorade. Because, well, I wasn't gonna grab no fucking Monster Energy drink at this hour. I was thinking about it. But I'm like, it's like fucking 4:30 in the morning. I gotta work at some point. But at some point, I mean, I work every day. I work the same day, but I always say at some point, like it's a mystery. It's 1 p.m. I work at 1 p.m.
Okay, let's see.
Your man's trying to play it like I'm a mystery. Nah, man, it's pretty straightforward. I'm a 1 to 10 kind of worker. I try to get on my video games by midnight. I'm lucky I got on earlier. The reason I get on by midnight is because between decompressing and working out, it takes me about an hour or two.
Thinking about what to bring.
So, Medic, I don't know if you were here for me saying this, but I have a weird idea and feeling on why the fire items you currently have are gonna feel so underwhelming. And I almost, as I said, I have a feeling that it's a setup for today's weapons. Do you know what I mean?
We got a patch in like 30
Did
minutes.
we?
It's Thursday, right? Today is today.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, rollover is at like 5, 6 in the morning for me.
Let them come. Let them brawl. Let them face
I'm
the
gonna
actual
regret calling this
reality of
in
the Helldivers.
because I've used this before, and oh boy, I've never killed my teammates more before. This is the Hellfire rocket launcher, or how I like to call it, the explosion.
Oh, you're in the cluster?
Yep.
Calling down a sentry. Have a taste of democracy. Requesting orbital strike. Out of ammo.
Well, Sergeant guys to do both. They just kicked my butt.
Reinforcing.
I'll try to land on this guy. Boom.
Our man just turned me to mush.
Oh, I almost landed. I'm actually right next to him. I'm in the
Yeah,
middle
no,
of a horde of bugs.
that
I'm dead.
that didn't look good. Didn't look good for nobody.
Dead? Yeah, I was
You gotta eat alive, man. That's the definition of getting you shit like nom-nommed alive.
Yeah.
Squad lost. Deploying full replacement. Request approved. Deploying reinforcements.
Well, the L-bomb went off. That's nice.
Democracy has
Yeah,
lived.
they go off now. Once they're armed, they go off.
I'm in a corner full of bugs. I'm about to die again.
I got you, bro.
No.
Or not.
Yeah, jump down.
Requesting sentry.
I don't even know where he is exactly. Okay. It's been a hard
My
to
cannon tried to keep Haktua busy, but Haktua fucked them up.
Something. Rare sample collected.
There's my hellfire bombs. There we go. Got them.
Sub-objective near your location.
Now, I know this rocket launcher is really good in buddy system, but it's not working really well.
I need stabs.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I think it's time for some heavy reinforcements.
Objective critical strategy.
Thank you.
Down to sentry.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. And there we go. Heavy reinforcements on your way.
My arm is broken.
Coming towards you. Die, Bionitis. Face the fury of 4 cannons. Oh god.
Calling down objective equipment.
Fuck medic, I might be like this guy in a minute. My left arm ain't looking so good.
Bioton dead.
Oh, thank God.
One life for super. Supply. I got the terminal. Requesting advanced weaponry. Tagging man. Go fast.
You know, I've seen this in Helldiver 1, but there was a vehicle in Helldiver 1 it was literally a tank, and I'm kind of waiting.
So,
for them to
tank
add
and
that
jeep
to this game.
may or may not get added into the game. I'll tell you why. Right now, they're having a lot of issues with collision stuff. That's why So, the biggest thing is there's a lot of, like, crashing of games. And the other part is there's some large collision issues. Like, you know how you can get launched by, like, 90% of the objects? That pretty much keeps happening to most of the vehicles. Things will launch them in the air and shit like that, and then they end up killing you and breaking and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's no different kind of how, like, you can pretty much get nut tapped by the Bile Titan when the mech suits first came out, and you would literally get, like, kaboom zapped across the map. So, pretty much, they're currently still trying to fix that, but it seems to be a larger issue than they were encountering. That's something I remember, like, actually reading, like, one of their devs was saying, like, as much as they would love to add, like, any form of vehicle outside of the mech suit, right now the mech suit is really the only thing they can get to, like, work.
That's my chance to be weak. I'm out of ammo. Uh-oh. I hit it on the head, so it should be weak. Oh, boy, it's coming right for me. Oh, boy. Hyper laser. Yeah. Try to get away from it. Bam! Oh! I'm sorry.
Oh, bro, I was dead.
This 5 times blizzard on my butt. Oh, it's dead now. Wait, here's super resources.
And your laser is, discriminating.
I don't have a man.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Point me to the enemy.
Supercharge. This slugger is pretty good.
Get some. Get some.
I healed, but
Calling
before I
in
could regain
reinforcements.
health, I died. I would say this slugger's pretty good. It's just still not my favorite. A other shotgun, maybe the best.
I like the regular Punisher.
I can't even get to my thinking. Trying to get your super samples, wherever they are. See if I can regain my actual support weapon.
Oh fuck! Oh, I jumped into some hunters. That was a bad call.
And I have like. Yeah, I'm heading back to you, medic.
It's getting a little busy over here.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see that. By the fact that I cannot see anything around you, I can see it's getting quite busy. I see the thing.
Well, I got something we could kill them, but I don't visit super artillery.
I think I got him. The big one.
But why not? I recommend we all shoot. I will say this should clear out a lot of trees. Wow.
That hit me directly. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Trying to reload my hellfire.
Point me to the enemy.
Okay, they may not like this. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, the lightning gun.
My bad, I keep cooking you.
Oh, that's a discharger. Woo! Oh. Oh.
Package acquired.
I got a green charger.
Wait, don't tell me we accidentally dropped the fucking thing over there.
Where does this fucking thing go? I don't see it.
I think it goes in here, dude.
Objective located.
Yeah, it goes in there.
I was trying to look for, like, cause like I saw where it landed at first and then a fucking enemy hit it. And then I couldn't find the fucking location of the SD card anymore. Don't tell me that fucker flung it that far away.
No, I thought it.
I have no clue with my laser doing. Oh, I'm so low on health. I would just use the cover for me so I can reel in my rocket launcher.
I'm about to die. Them tongues.
Well, yeah, but that's what the thing's gonna do. How about that too? Yep, the fire! I killed him. I killed him dead for me. Well, I'm dead. I have super samples on me, so yeah.
Tagging map, north, 200 meters. Calling in reinforcements.
My mech is too charged.
Oh fuck, bro! I was on a 45 straight kill streak with just my fucking zapper. 45 bugs got put down, but the last 100 managed to jump past the electricity. Holy shit, they was chasing me down. Hoogity woogity, they wanted my boogity. My boogity woogity.
Oh, there's the green charger. I was wondering why there was a lot of bugs on us, or superness. Woo! Still about 10 with that.
Eat this! Freedom never rests! Requesting orbital strike. Requesting orbital. Liberty take me! Liberty take me! Flash tunnel free! Have a taste of
And that's true something else.
Requesting advanced weapons. I need gas!
Oh, no, I know, I messed up. There's so many bugs on my body.
Calling in orbital strike! Calling in reinforcements!
I thought the Bile Titan and the Charger was bad enough. Ah, man. They was just starting with me. They sent a tentacle beast as I'm trying to fucking rescue these fucking civilians.
Oh! Not again, no! I don't need to die again, we're not sexually high on the life. Bam, there we go. There we go. Okay.
Tentacle beast fucking my day up. I don't know where he actually is, medic.
I don't see him either. Calling down Walker now. I'm seeing some orbital. And why did it face that way, okay?
Watch your back. Yeah, honestly, they got a tentacle there behind you.
Okay, where? Yeah, the tentacle's heavily damaged the mech. I found the health hallway. Trying to find the dude.
Point me to the enemy.
You see him?
No, I think I do. No, he sees me.
Where's he? That's bad now.
Calling down a sentry. Requesting sentry.
There goes the bad time. Where's the tentacle dude?
War super.
Okay, we can dark all into me and them. Charger. I won't always slam on it.
I found tentacles.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I found 2 tentacles.
It was there, okay. Okay, well, yeah, I see him. Dude, come on. Die, 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 come on. I think I killed one.
Good.
I killed one. But my, I'm low. I need support because I got bugs next to me and I'm low on health. Thank you. There's supplies. I'd like to reload my rocket launcher.
Supplies.
Supplies.
Okay.
I'm not. Don't pay attention to my guy yelled at.
I'll probably, this episode is better after reloading. Oh, and he's 30 humans, so... Reloading my rocket launcher, come on. Let's get those bugs over there.
Requesting sentry.
There we go. So a decent amount of them, let's see. Reloading, come on. Okay, well, 1/3 there. 1/3. I'm gonna kill some people, but see how this, oh, that did pretty well. Yeah, be careful of the bugs on the side. I'll start the next batch of humans.
Open supplies.
Definitely toxic. Okay, charge it, toxic one.
Oh fuck.
Humans.
Ah! I'm stuck to his leg. I was actually stuck to his leg. What the fuck? Man, it keeps happening to me. Like, it's the third time that a charger, like, hits me, and then I'm stuck to their leg. And the reason I die is because I go bop, bop, bop. Like, I just get pretty much ran on their leg. Little Oosie.
There's a... I'm not gonna run into this. There's a bug right on the exit. I don't know why he's here. Oh, he's already dead. This is 4. Nope, it's not blocked. Here, man.
No, they were getting eaten alive.
Okay, also, I saw the number go from 27 to 23.
It was 23 for me the whole time. They never made it. Neither will these ones. I literally just watched. Oh, that's a brave ass woman. Oh God, that's a brave. Oh no, I think that brave. Oh God, I watched her get eaten.
Okay. Screw it, I'm using him. Oh!
I did.
Well, I didn't die.
The hell
Yeah.
is that? Was that a cluster?
Yeah. I tried to kill as many as as possible.
You got me good, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
We were probably not...
I definitely was scattered.
We're not probably gonna be able to distract. We're not gonna be able to distract at all. I think we're too low on lives. Well, I mean, a lot of us are falling medic, so...
I got 2 charges in the vial for Gucci Gang.
Shoot, forgot to reload.
Calling down a sentry. Requesting sentry.
I wish I had more airstrikes, but just 1, 2 things. Come on, folks, they're not paying attention. Come on. Give me the fun. Leave it alone, folks.
You'll never destroy our way of life.
Nope. My Oosie will be a little bit better. Oh no. We're almost there. Give me one. You just need another.
Oh yeah, we got it. Don't worry.
Well, yeah, it's okay. Okay, I have a way to kill this bug, so you're not gonna like it. I will back up.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah. I say every time you fired it, I gotten killed.
well, it's artillery pretty much everywhere.
Listen, bro, that thing has more of a successful kill ratio of me than my my secret stratagem. The forbidden one.
Well, it's, yeah, go past the map, be definitely...
Yeah, earlier I showed him the forbidden stratagem when you're playing Eradicate. I got flung out by the fucking, the tentacle beast, and I was like, oh, you want to fucking play games? So, you know, I was labeled a traitor. So I killed 50 plus bugs with it. And I thought the new one here.
Apparently, you changed direction like every 2 seconds
Yep.
or some shit.
100%, dude. I literally was telling him, you go left, right, left, right. The moment you see it explode on the one side, go to the other side, and we'll go to that other side, then go to the other side. I've literally made it to the end zone of a map. Like, I've literally run out of a map before. On stream, like, I fall.
I was wondering how I survived doing it.
You zigzag unintentionally, and what the game doesn't really intend for you to do is completely avoid it by zigzagging. Yeah, you can zigzag your whole, as long as you don't get knocked over by something, like a bug or a bot or get hit, it's literally the easiest shit to avoid. So yeah, no, when I need it as a stratagem, I've used it many a times. Obviously a lot better when you're not playing with other people who you can endanger with it. But like, hey man, last resorts are last resorts, right? That's why we call it the forbidden stratagem.
Oh, this is kind of lucky. I'm behind the fire exit. What?
That Bile Titan fell on me.
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Democracy has landed.
Personally, I think we should just hit Drake's distraction.
And you may follow your personal beliefs.
So, don't look at the map or you would just see the other little horde chasing us. Because it's around about 60 folks chasing
I was about to say, little horde, you could have at least lied a little better.
I can say little or say don't look at the map.
Oh, I thought you said little horde. I was like, you could have lied to me. A little better than a little horde. I'm little. I'm 5'6". That's little. That horde, definitely bigger than me in height.
Calling the distraction. I'm calling the distraction immediately.
Oh, that's a shrieker's nest right there.
Okay. Where? Oh, that's not good. This may do it. Let me do this.
Fucking trees. Okay, I feel pretty proud of that quick turn right there. Seen that man literally post up on me like a T-Rex and punched him right in the face.
Oh great. Well, that's not good. I have super serious how look. Oh, mother of Lord. Oh, I made it.
I'm gonna make it this time! Fuck you bugs! Fuck your bugs! I'm making it this time! Fuck your bugs! Did it? It says failed to extract. Fuck you, what do you mean failed to extract?
Might be a
Yeah, it's a bug. It said that a couple of times to me.
I swear to fucking God, if something killed me before I entered, I'm gonna be so mad.
Okay, you're good.
Game literally just kills me off. Nah, bro, you don't make it.
about doing a level 10 mission, maybe on different planets, because the trees were blocking a lot of our airstrikes.
Definitely do that stuff tomorrow. It's already 5:11, almost, well 5:10 actually.
Tomorrow,
This year, so. Oosie, what?
You don't want to quickly do a level 10 mission?
Quickly, level 10? That seems like a redundant statement right there. Asking what level 10 looks like, ain't nothing quick about it. But no, I am. And I had a still prepared for work today. I would say tomorrow, but then I'm like, no, I get up in like less than 6 hours.
Okay. So you're
Yeah, well, first I'm gonna see something here. Oh shit! Medic, they got a firefighter outfit that looks like you.
What do you?
Well, I mean, legitimately, there's a new blue outfit. It's in the superstore. What the fuck? What is a salamander?
Huh.
Do you like them dark colors?
Yeah, you're right. It is 5 o'clock. I have to get off.
What does this salamander outfit do? Provides 75 damage resistance to fire, allowing bear to resist. Okay.
I don't think fire's gonna be that hot, but I could be wrong. Maybe the lower level guys will be using it.
I was like, the one outfit literally just looks like a heavy version of yours. Just gives you like a different looking helmet too. And the other one just kind of looks like a very generic Moonman outfit. I like it though. It's heavy. The
Yeah,
salamander, yeah. Heavy, looking good. So that means the War Bond should be coming out soonish.
2 days, I think.
I mean, I think it should have been out, but I think it just might need a restart of the game or whatever, or just need to wait.
I don't see any patch notes yet.
So it's probably just gonna take a little longer. Probably gonna be like around 10.
They might just have to.
Yeah,
fix it or
probably.
something, I don't know. There should be a patch
They
notes.
probably do. I'm pretty sure this got added like when the update got added. Outfits actually look pretty good though. The thing that threw me off though is nobody's been talking about it, but they did an armor change on one of the armors. They added this fucking ugly ass beast to this thing. Do you see that shit? That was never there before. This big ass sticker. Bro, it is, yeah, bro. When I was like looking at the outfits, I'm like, dude, I know that shit was blank before, but now this is giant obnoxious skull. Oh shit! Oh shit!
Should be like a short patch.
They tried to take for themselves what the citizens of Super Earth had proudly built. Now they're going to find out.
Propaganda, I love it. Look at that little wrench.
Yeah, the wrench.
The wrench throws me off every time. You see that little tiny baby hand with that little baby wrench? It's gotta be my favorite part of that propaganda.
They jumped out, look. Yeah, they jumped on top of their own tools as a symbol with a hammer and sickle.
You better not refer to that one. That's something me or my ancestors talk about, alright? I'm forbidden from talking about that dark art. You're gonna get me fucking suspended, man. I escaped from those times, alright? I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Just a symbol. To me, symbols don't. It's it's one of those things where it's like I like the look of the hammer and sickle, but it's a cool symbol. But to me, it doesn't really. Yeah, it's simple communism, but
I
don't care.
do. Communism bad.
Swastika.
Now, the swastika is a slightly different story. There was that got like used by tyrants. Tyrants, even though it wasn't a really tyrannical symbol. The hammer and sickle. My man, Stalin was a brutal man, and I come from that place, and my family comes from that. I ain't got nothing nice to say about it. I ain't got nothing nice to say about it.
Well, technically, the hammer and sickle was used before Stalin. But
I understand, but the person who made the reform ain't gonna say it was much better.
Yeah.
As I said, I come from the place. I genuinely don't know anybody from the generations of my mom and like up who will say anything good about it. It's not good. It's no bueno. The bad stuff happened.
Yes. Yes, we all know you come
There's
from
bad
the
stuff
door.
happened. They made us eat sawdust, alright? No people that make your own people eat sawdust are good people. You know what they called it? Bread.
Yes. Yeah, they gave you soup and.
No, they
vodka.
actually gave you sawdust bread. They would pack down bread with sawdust. Yeah, that's
Oh.
literally like a malnutrition, like a practice of like poor countries to like, how'd you say, make grain more lasting. They would literally spritz your grain with sawdust just because it looks exactly like it. So you're making bread that's literally half sawdust. So many like Russians died
Okay.
during those days.
Before you get off, I have a curious question.
Okay.
When your mom and family moved away from the USSR, there a reason why they moved to Canada instead of the
Yeah, my
US?
mom don't like the U.S.
Specifically, why?
Because I'll be frank with you, because my mom ain't really about the, it's hard to explain to people who live in America. You don't live a very humble lifestyle, and my mom doesn't like that. My mom doesn't like a lack of culture and humbleness. At least in Canada, it's like there's a sembleness of humbleness. I'll give it that. There is definitely like, you know, more politeness per se. So my mom was just not. My mom wasn't with the arrogance of America. My mom likes the culture. Don't get me wrong. She likes the music. She likes this and that. But my mom chose Canada because, and at the time when we were moving, because I moved with her. I'm not a first generation. I'm a landed immigrant myself, and I have one of the few remaining citizenship cards in Canada. So yeah, no, I grew up during a country's reform. That's why I'm like, nah, man. There's nothing anybody can tell me that make me can see communism in a good way, because I've seen the aftermath and I've seen the unfortunate non-hidden truths of what happens when you see the reform from every other part of that country. So think of it like this. Think of the USSR as Canada, and every individual satellite state as a province. I come from a satellite state that's kind of like PEI. And bro, when I tell you right now, like, the state of our country wasn't good during USSR, and is slowly getting better, but is worse now than it was before. That's how bad it is. Like, USSR just took and never gave back, and that's the problem with communism. It looks like genuinely it works, but what you end up doing is you end up taking from the small to feed the bigger picture. You never return it to the small. That's the problem. The revolving cycle never actually revolves. So you end up starving out. That's why most communist countries end up getting a reform that's a little more like socialist, but not communist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's actually kind of funny because early on in Soviet Union's history, communism was just seen as a nerve form of socialism.
Because it is. But the offshoot of it though is though, and it's something I try to explain to people. I'm like, technically communism cannot exist because humans turn communism into dictatorship. And the moment that happens, you leave the realm of what one is and what the other one isn't. And then in the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like socialism, communism, all that, and even fascism, it all breaks down to who's using it. Like, it's like you give somebody the ultimate superpower, and you gotta give it to, you know what I mean? You gotta pick and choose the right people, because unfortunately, you give it to the wrong motherfucker, you're gonna destroy the world with that superpower. So that's the same thing with communism. It's like having ultimate power of politician. Problem is, eventually, if you get yourself too corrupted or you choose a politician that isn't good, they can use that communism to then turn into different reforms, and that's where the issues started forming.
Yeah, and here's the thing, I get why the Russian people turned to communism. They hate the monarchy, the Russian Republic.
Oh, it was killing people
basically
more than
dumb.
anything else was at the time, so yeah.
Yeah. So, you were originally from Ukraine?
No,
specifically,
I'm from
at some
Azerbaijan.
point?
Azerbaijan, yes. I am from, like, I said, I'm from a satellite state. That's why I'm like, yeah, no, I come from a butt fucking nowhere that's surrounded by Muslim countries. I'm those offshoot Russians that's closer to a Muslim, like, to a Muslim person than anything else, because culturally I grew up with mostly Muslims.
Okay. Out of curiosity, have you ever thought about going to
I can't.
Azerbaijan?
That's another problem with sometimes reforms changing. I technically don't have a way back home. I'm not a citizen anymore. Yeah, because a social reform happened, and the country has no migration. So I technically couldn't immigrate out. So what did I have to do? Well, I'm a kid. I don't get a choice in it, right? So technically speaking, I fled. So that revokes my citizenship status in my country. So I'm just a visitor. And at this point, if they're gonna ask me who am I, they're gonna look at my passport and it's gonna say you're from Azerbaijan. Did you serve in the military? This is a big issue to get into. Mandatory conscription and mandatory conscription in countries. Avoiding conscription is a punishable crime by a very large penalty based on how much time you missed out. So it's either I serve my time in jail or in military.
Yeah. I remember before the war with Ukraine, there was something like it for Russia, but you could just pay your commanders money to end
Yes,
your
this is what I was
service.
gonna say though. That's the thing that you can do, but the problem there lies is that my cousin's mom tried to do that, and believe me when I say, in a country like that, you don't make enough money to actually pay it off. And if you do,
Yeah.
bro, you spent way too much money to. Like, it's bad enough going to war, but you spent too much money for that freedom. You might as well have run.
Yeah.
Nah, it's terrible to say it like that, but
Politics are
just it is what it is.
Politics are weird. Hey, politics got weirder in the U.S. Joe Biden jumped out of the race. Now we got a Democratic candidate for the new one for the Democrats.
Before we get too far, I really gotta start heading to bed. It's like 5:30 almost now. I gotta make that food.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, good game, guys.
GG's.
Hopefully that war bond drops
Yeah,
and
bye.
it's actually fire, pun not intended.
Check your tens. You
What's
got
up?
them for sure, right? You got tens unlocked for sure? You never know.
Make sure I have everything unlocked. Yep. Yeah. Every war bond, everything in every war bond unlocked. We're good. I have 1,100 super credits, and I think that should be enough, right? That shit didn't go up in price, did it?
No,
Hopefully not.
Okay.
Well, yeah, good night. I'll be on tomorrow.
Alright, boys, take it easy.
Also,
See ya.
the game they're playing yesterday,
Oh yeah, the Last Descendant. Yeah, I was playing it the other night with
Yeah.
my buddy Flamey and Medic actually. Cause they were both playing, and I like my third-person shooters, so
Okay. Well,
take
bye.
it easy, my dude. All right, let's see who do we visit today? I think I know who we visit today. Y'all know this man as well as I do. It's a lovely gentleman. I'm gonna hang out with him.